There we go. Hello, Farlanders. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust, an actual real life episode of Farlands or Bust. Those watching on Twitch right now got a premature bark. I feel like that one happened before the world loaded, so I often will ignore them because I don't want you to look at the world loading. Avert your eyes, children. But hello, and welcome back. This is episode 823 of Farlands or Bust. I believe... Oh, there he goes. All right. Yeah, we had a weird corner hidey hole here. We had a hard time finding a place to make our hidey hole at the end of the last stream, because we've just been streaming for a while. It's been a long time getting from there. Skip intro! It's from, since we've done like an actual episode. Speaking of which, Wolfie, have a pork chop. There we go. But yeah, this is Farlands or Bust for your Sunday, November 28th. 2021. Somebody's watching Enterprise. Yes. Yes, we are. And I thoroughly enjoyed the difference between season 2 and season 3. They went from a sad song to a more upbeat tempo country song version of the intro song. So that's just crazy. But yeah, welcome back. Farlands or Bust, an episode 823. We are walking west towards the Farlands here in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. That's right. For those of you perhaps new or returning, we keep having people, I haven't watched you in 7 years. You're still doing this? Boring. But yes, we're still in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 because it's the last version that had the actual Farlands. We've been walking for over 10 years. The jitter is not lag, it is simply a side effect of being so far from spawn. I've been streaming it a lot because we're kind of just doing it more casually here. YouTube doesn't exist to us. It's dead to us. But I figured gotta sprinkle in some episodes here and there, because we also have a podcast edition, and the few dozen people who listen to the podcast are probably like, well, I guess he's not doing that anymore, because I only will do a podcast of recorded episodes. Somebody making a hidey hole here? Spooky, spooky. Hello. Oh! I will not be going down there, alright? That's weird. Ooh, I'll really not be going down here either. Let's grab Wolfie and see what's on the other side of this mountain. Hi, I remember watching you in primary school. Yeah, that is one of the more recent donations. That's right, we're still raising money for charity, even if that has also kind of taken an unfortunate backseat. We're still in Season 9 here, raising money for Rise Above the Disorder. We're at $1,800, $1,812.35 to be exact. Oh, this is probably where I dug down. Yeah, it's right there. But yeah, farlandsorbust.com is where you can learn more about that and donate yourself, ask a question. Wolfie? Oh, there, good lord. Let's not die. Yeah, Wolfie. Well, this sure was a place. But yeah, episode. We're doing it. Regular episode. It's a thing we're doing. I mean, I think I started this season with a whole speech, a goings-ons about how I wasn't sure the platform and the format of Farlands or Bust, but how I still want to do it, and I still want to continue, and we definitely are. I have various ideas about, like, maybe I should just do Farlands or Bust on my Twitch and nothing else, since it's always a bit disappointing to be like playing a new game you're excited about and have 53 viewers, which I know is like not none, but it's not many. But then again, it's also pretty disappointing doing Farlands or Bust. And not having like anybody interested in it or whatever sometimes. But y'all are here 24/7. Farlands or Bust. We'd be done in a few days. But yes, I appreciate those who are hanging around, watching. It's chill. A change of pace for your normal, out of control, in your face, internet content. Right, that's the other thing. If I did only Farlands or Bust, then we would be missing out on all the amazingness that is bad Doctor Who games and various simulators and Dynasty games and itch.io indies. Just have to learn to play 2 games at once, picture in picture. Gotta bust out the second computer again. So yeah, here we are. Speaking of those streams, I do want to mention, I feel kind of bad that I didn't save it for an actual episode, but we had I think what I felt like was a good discussion on November 9th. The November 9th stream, which is up in its entirety on this here YouTube channel. The November 9th stream, we talked a lot about hobbies and having any interest in anything, and then just like trying to find things to do and like do something with our lives. And I half expected to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of like, I half expected just everybody to have like a bunch of ideas and stuff, but it was also reassuring that there were many of you who felt the same, for various reasons. About like, yeah, I guess I just don't like stuff anymore. But, so yeah, I felt like that was a good stream. I almost said episode, but so if you missed that one and you're into that kind of discussion, perhaps I can refer you to the aforementioned. I bring that up because one of the questions of a charity donor, Real Jellyman, asked if I ever go stargazing or planet gazing anymore, and I do not. And that was one of the things we talked about. I'm like, well, I should probably like sell my telescope and equipment. I'm not using it ever. And it is definitely not well used here in the Seattle area, where I don't think it's an atmospheric. Whoops! I didn't mean to shear you, my friend. That's not gonna stack in my inventory. Sorry. Sorry about that. There you go. You could have it back. Make something for that, for yourself with that. Bird watching. Telescope pivot. That's too big of a telescope for bird watching. There is a limit. I'll just get a second telescope and turn it into binoculars. But yeah, we talk. I don't want to say the same thing over and over again. I'll observe the birds on Venus. Indeed. Oh, I'm like, where are my beds? I don't have any dirt. I mean, that's another thing I kind of wanted to do. Well, let's not talk about that. We already talked about it. But like in Arizona... I forgot that I do the snoring noises. I thought this was a stream again. Don't you hate it when you're mid-word and you just fall asleep and have to start snoring? Right in the middle of a syllable. But was to get like, we were talking about like, we got a hummingbird feeder outside my window. And I'm like that, and now Twitch has an animals category. Not that it would have prevented me from streaming animals previous, but I'm like, oh, I'll get like a camera on the hummingbird feeder and watch them hummingbirds. I thought like an all-sky camera is another thing. A big fisheye, wide-angle camera. People put those on observatories and stuff. And you can observe like northern lights and meteor, you know, showers, and they pick up fireballs and things like that. But that would not go very well or be very useful here, as I mentioned, in the Seattle area, because of that. Not so much an atmospheric river, but an atmospheric sea, ocean, an atmospheric Enceladus, Europa. I mean, and the light pollution, true. Usually all sky cameras are like, their gain and contrasts can be blasted out so much that you can overcome a lot, as long as you're like not in a city, a lot of light pollution. But a deluge, yeah, it's just, I'm sick of it. And I know it's like, well, why did you move to Seattle? It always rains there. Not like this. This isn't normal. Especially after an entire summer with 0 rain and everything is dead. Everything's dying and dead. But yeah. I mean, I would get sick of this type of weather when I was living in Chicago. But anyway, I deluge. It was the holiday of Thanksgiving this past week. Stayed home, obviously, and just cooked all day. I did my... Maybe that's my problem. If I like have success in making something, I should probably just like leave it and like not try to recreate past success. Lemon poppy seed bundt cake. The girlfriend really likes it, but I feel like the first one I made was better. She says this one is better, but I think I split my eggs. My eggs split in twain. Mixed them too hard. So I did that. And then I also did a broccoli cheese casserole. Like, my family, for holidays and things like that, and like my dad currently makes a broccoli cheese. It's all just keys. Just a bunch of old keys. This is Lockpicking Lawyer. Broccoli cheese casserole. I should have got the recipe from him, because I found a recipe online and I figured it was all the same. It came out very creamy as opposed to cheesy, but we had to find gluten-free Ritz crackers, which is what the topping is made of. And they're called entertainment crackers. But that, I mean, that it turned out okay, but it wasn't like the same. I was trying to recreate the flavors of my childhood. And then the girlfriend, we made meatloaf. Another, we were going for comfort food. But we made meatloaf. Well, the girlfriend did. And I'd never done this with my meatloaf. I've never done this with my loaf. But since we had cheese from the broccoli cheese, she like made a meatloaf Swiss roll and like rolled the cheese up. And there's cheese inside the meatloaf, which is pretty good. So that turned out fine and dandy. Ah, spider. Ah, that's mad and angry. And then the stuffing was my favorite. The stuffing was my favorite thing. Gluten-free, obviously, of course, everything. So yeah, we have leftovers, if anybody wants to come over. No. We'll be eating the leftovers until Christmas. Are you in the tomato sauce on top meatloaf camp? The girlfriend I know isn't. Specifically ketchup. I would be okay with what my mom used to do. Bacon. And that's what I did the first time I made meatloaf here. Put bacon strips on the top, and then it gets all crispy. And bacon, and you know, you got bacon. And bacon on top of your loafed meat. Consider bacon plus ketchup. I used to eat meatloaf with ketchup. But no, I don't know. I feel sometimes that can go wrong. The glaze on the top of the meatloaf. Like sometimes it comes out too tomato-y or something. Sesla bacon. So yeah, it was a fine and dandy Thanksgiving. The day before, we went to a roller rink and did roller skating. And I was doing quite all right until I fell on my ass. Very hard. Not super hard, but I haven't really fallen, except on purpose, when roller skating so far. She was trying to teach me how to transition from going forward to going backwards. And that's a difficult concept for my legs, apparently, and my brain to figure out. Bruise your coccyx? Watch your language. No, I don't think so. I landed pretty squarely on the mushy part of my butt. But yeah, like she's always telling me that I should fall forward, but when you start falling, it stops becoming involuntary. Or it becomes involuntary or voluntary. Involuntary? One of those. You know what I mean. I don't have control. Your body's like, I'm going to do what I think should happen now, and it's usually the wrong thing. I mean, but also I was like skating around. I can do like when I'm turning, like I'm learning and getting better at doing like the crossover thing to turn. Those are suddenly cows. But yeah, I was going with some speed and haste. So I feel the fall. I felt the fall, and I continue to feel the fall. But I also feel the muscles from skating for like a few hours. So there's a hobby. I mean, that one started late in the summer, I suppose. I don't think I've been actually skating for more than like 5 or 6 times. We did a couple outside before it got atmospheric dampness. And then a few, like 3 or 4 indoor, at an indoor rink. So yeah, imagine, just picture that. I haven't posted any picture because I look like a goob. I can't quite get over the dorkitude that is me in roller skates and helmet and knee pads and elbow pads and wrist guards to be like, everybody else look at this. So you'll just have to imagine this lanky bucket of 2x4s falling on my butt. Oh, we are. Way ahead of you. Thanks, dirt. I'm out of dirt. Boop. IRL rollers? IRL rollers. Brian, I don't understand your hip Twitch lingo. I don't know. What do you mean? Let's go to sleep, do the whole snoring thing, and continue in the morning. And awakeness. IRL roller skating. I see. Rollers is what hip kids say. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I'll rephrase that. I don't think that's possible, given the fact that I don't want to put any effort into it. I mean, I was just talking about... Brian is somebody who would know, and they'll probably have a, like, affiliate code for a Wi-Fi or wireless webcam. Not a security camera, mind you, but like a legitimate webcam that I can just pull up as a source in my OBS, as it is outside pointed at a bird feeder to stream hummingbirding. Hummingbirding? Hummingbirder. Hummingbirder. Murder. Hummingbirds. So yeah, that's been my day. So I'm still a little bit body joint sore from that. I'm stomach sore from all the food that I'm continually eating. And now I'm going to be internally sore because we got our boosters today. We got our space shuttle boosters. That'll be fun, because after the second dose for a day, we both felt like poop. So that's why we got it today on Saturday, so we got Sunday to just like sit and like watch the Simpsons catalog or something like that. Or perhaps more Star Trek Enterprise. I almost said StarCraft. We're on the final season. The third season. Does anybody else not like that? Like it didn't age well. I realize it came out in like 2003, 2004, I think. But it's very hunting down the weapons of mass destruction and terrorists. And it did not age well. The plot did not age well. It's a little bit too real. And in hindsight. There is a fourth season. We made it through the third season, and we're on the fourth season, where like every episode is a 3-episode to be continued. Previously on Enterprise. Did anything from the early 2000s age well? Make a good point. Make a good point. So yeah, we're making our way through that. We don't know what to watch next, though. We might have to pony up for some Paramount Plus to see what's up with Picard. I'm not sure. I mean, I might. Well, I mean, if we do, we'll be able to. But the current Star Trek one, Discovery, I think it's called. I don't know. I feel like it's too J.J. Abrams Star Trek. Lower Decks. That might be interesting. But I also, speaking of The Simpsons, I gotta be in the mood for like a cartoon, I feel. And I haven't been. I've not been my jovial self lately. Red Dwarf, but it's not Star Trek. See, we're invested in the aliens of the Star Trek universe. I've watched through The Expanse, and I've been disappointed the last few seasons, but apparently this one is going to be the last one. And people who have read the books are like, this it'll get good, but I don't trust them. You can't trust anybody who reads books. Jeez. Oops. Well, that was a waste. Have you seen Red Dwarf? I'm sure if I saw it, I'd be like, oh, I recognize those characters, but I haven't watched it, no. Just like prior to 2 years ago, I have never watched any Star Treks, but now I've watched them all. Nearly. Always use some free coal. I do want to thank The Weird Guy for a very generous donation. They saw that there hadn't been a donation in a while to the Farlands of Bust charity. So I do appreciate it, no question though. Hey, they're in chat. How about it? Although, in chat, you're the extra weird guy. This is just a normal weird guy. Who donated. Weird. I guess I can make a bed. We can make this a 4-day episode since it's been so long. It's been a long... Sorry. Ah! Indeed. So yeah, that's what we're up to. So I don't know that I'll be, not that anybody who's watching this or listening to the podcast cares, but I don't think I'll be able to stream tomorrow. Depending on my physical place in the world. Physically. You're annoyed you can't find the full version of the Upbeat Enterprise theme? But it's on Amazon. That's another thing. We started watching all these because somebody in my Discord was like, oh, all the Star Treks are going away next month. And that was like 2 months ago. So we like blasted through Voyager to finish Voyager. And then we were like, they're still all up on Amazon. And then we started Enterprise thinking we would get cut off halfway through, and now we're stuck with it. Now I'm stuck with that song in my head. I mean, if by full version you mean the full intro, it's on the start of every episode, so there you go. I did read something about Well, I think that was just international. Like, I think internationally, Star Trek saw on Netflix, which they are not in the United States. Well, some of them are. Some of them were. Certainly not the Picard and Discovery weren't ever on Netflix. Next Generation, and I think Voyager were on Netflix. I don't. Who cares? Not me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oops. Whoa. You know, there are a lot of sales, like my shirt store, and specifically surrounding car parts, like all the places. Like Skillard is where I got a lot of like my grill and the bumpers for the Datsun, and like all the places that have like the race car stuff, the coilover springs and suspension parts and lowering this and that and whatever are all having like sales, but there's nothing I want or need from any of them. I need an exhaust. I do need springs, but not the coilover ones or anything like that. That's kind of annoying. Boop. And awakeness. You already have an exhaust, in fact, many. What? What is this, some kind of joke? Are you saying I'm exhausted? I will be tomorrow. I tell you what. I did one last question that was out there lingering on the donations page from LCB. I don't have an answer for, but I figured I would ask it, and maybe in the chat or in the comments. They have a PNW Seattle question. Do you know any folks with experiences around UW graduate school and any general thoughts and opinions on it? No. I only just moved here like 5-ish years ago. I don't know anything about any of the schools or anything. And I have no personal need to. So, yeah. Sorry. I'm assuming they are attending or planning to attend or something. But I appreciate the question. Good luck. This answer is in a different castle. That was a video game reference. Speaking of video games, we have been playing Forza Horizon 5. Why didn't they just call it FIVEZA? Ba-na-ba-ba-na-ba. Good night, everybody. Good night. Yeah, FIVEZA, spell it with a 5. I mean, it's interesting. We're learning a lot about AAA video games, the quote-unquote economies that they have, and the restrictions placed upon you when you don't play into those economies. 15% from the auction house. What a ridiculous... Ugh. I mean, I don't expect everything to be SnowRunner. I hope everything isn't SnowRunner. The nice thing about SnowRunner is that you sell your truck and you get exactly what you've paid and upgraded it for in return. I mean, they realize how horribly frustrating and soul-crushing the rest of their game is. They decided to extend an olive branch with their economy. You know, I'm trying to think of, like, what other games, or even, like, racing games, do you have to, like, buy stuff? I mean, there is, like, Lumberjack's Dynasty, where the cars are extremely, and vehicles and equipment is very expensive to buy. You can sell it back, but for a lot less than what you bought it for. Like, that makes sense. And you're selling it back to the video game. In Forza, the only way you can sell your cars is to other players in their self-made auction house, which is very poorly made. Like, if you want to win an auction, you'd better be there when the auction is ending. Even though there is no countdown, they're like, this auction ends in about 2 minutes. And, like, you just have to, like, sit there and wait. Somebody will always... there must be some sort of, like, these gaming farms for other games. There just must be rooms full of people just perusing the auction house, and that's all they do in the game, and they're paid to do it. Because they're constantly getting sniped. I mean, I did one snipe, but that's because it was a bad deal and I just didn't care. So yeah, and then when you sell a car, we got like a rare apparent car, we were told. I don't know, it seemed like one of the cars that everybody gets after you do a certain race. So I'm like, all right, let's try selling it for you know, it was asking 4.7 million Forza credits. It sold for that amount, but then the government, I guess, took 700,000 of that, and I only got 4 million because there's a 15% seller's fee when you sell. I mean, they don't tell you it's 15%. When you list it in the auction house, they're like, it's a there is a small fee deducted when you sell your car on the auction house. They don't tell you. There's no terms of service. But yeah, that was... I mean, it's just ridiculous is all I'm saying. It's ridiculous. That's fake. It's all made up. Cars don't exist. Nothing. Yeah, there is no service. It's a game. The game is the game. It's in the game. EA Sports. And somebody maybe made the argument it's to stop inflation. It's fake. It's all fake. The cars are fake. They don't exist. The roads are fake. The people are fake. Those aren't even drivatars. They've just put your friends' usernames above these AI cars. Doesn't matter. So yeah, that's enjoyable. But we did get to make, after I had to track down a 240Z, we did go into the paint shop and paint our car with the shark teeth and stuff. Digitized swindle. And then I like upgraded it too far and then not far enough, and that's all very confusing. But there's no Corolla. They got rid of the Corolla in the SVX. I mean, I say they got rid of the Corolla in the SVX, but I'm sure it's going to be part, even though it's been in previous games and that it exists fully created already for them to just copy and paste. It's going to be in some car pack or season pass or DLC. Because yeah, we even tried doing that. We tried bidding on a car that was a 280Z, which I wanted. But can't do that, because that you actually have to buy that with real money before you can bid on that with fake money. And maybe, probably not win that auction. I mean, if you buy it with the DLC, I think you just get it anyway, so why would you even put it in the auction? I don't know. Video games! You alright, Wolfie? Yeah. The game is a game, and we're gonna play it, probably, after recording this, for those of you on Twitch. I mean, it's mindless racing games. It is a driving game where the cars don't matter. The money is made up and the cars don't matter. Which is like, I feel like I care more about the cars in Wreckfests, which are fake and just based on real life cars, than I do for any of the cars in Forza. Just because they hold no value. Like, emotional or in-game, obviously, value. Which is a bit of a shame. You know, like your car in the long drive. You end up caring more about that than you do any of the cars in Forza, which is why I'm like trying to recreate my actual car that exists, because then it like might be one that I want to drive, and then I get to a race and they're like, it's not recommended. You cannot drive this car, the one that you actually like, and spent 2 hours customizing and building. Not qualified. Although the newest grid game is $5 on the Steam winter sale or autumn sale or Thanksgiving sale or whatever they're calling it. We could always try that chestnut out. Let's build a hidey hole here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Hey, Wolfie, have a seat. A little close to the edge there. Perfect. Okay, not so perfect. Oh, we also did, we did do the Mindcrack Marathon UHCs. I realize that my perspectives are only viewable to Twitch subscribers, but I also, like, I could put that up on YouTube, no problem. Well, slight problem, but no real effort. But I worry about, like, if anybody even cares anymore, or if it's having the other perspectives that make it worthwhile. What do I do here at the end of episodes? So that's a thought. That crossed my mind. Boats. Indeed. How about that, my friends? A real, authentic, cold-pressed, organic episode of Farlands or Bust. episode 823, farlandsorbust.com. If you want to learn more about the series. That's another thing I should probably address in the near or distant future. It's going to be the distant future. is the website is probably out of date. That video automatic updater on the homepage certainly doesn't work anymore. And Google keeps complaining to me that it's not mobile friendly, and I don't have the right type of keywords or something for AdSense. Yeah, that I don't know. You know what I'll do instead? I'll thank you very much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Entertainment crackers.